back to another episode of Next to Madison. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about everyone's favorite thing, parties and events and fun, and especially that we're still all locked away in our quarantines and just kind of reliving those days when we went to parties and went to events and celebrations. And my guest today owns a very exclusive high-end event planning company called Revel Rouge, and he's got some great, amazing tips to plan a dinner at home, to make yourself feel celebrated, to do things online, to different cooking recipes. So we're going to get into all of that, and also how to kind of stay sane and stay positive during this crazy time, and just to stay hopeful and stay in faith, because it will end. We just don't know when, but it will end. So with that being said, I want to bring on my amazing guest for today's episode, who is the owner, as I mentioned, of Revel Rouge, Hank Stampfl. How are you?
Hi, how you doing?
Oh, I'm so good. I'm so happy you're here. You've been doing so many kind of great things. I want to talk about some of the cool things you've been doing during the quarantine to kind of celebrate a little bit.
Yeah, of course. Well, I'm fortunate to be staying with a friend in a beautiful place, the Hamptons. I mean, poor me trapped here. But both the house owner and my partner had birthdays during this time, and they were a week apart. And being an event planner, I had the pressure of what do I do? Because it's kind of unexpected, right? I mean, if you're dating an event planner and I don't do anything for your birthday, that's kind of
Right.
I think. So I saw like people doing the car parade, and I'm like, okay, like that's sweet, but it's so fast and you don't really get to have interaction with people, and it didn't feel as heartfelt. And the house owner is a headhunter, and she is a social butterfly. I mean, she loves talking, she loves people. It took the planning, and I got 25 different houses to drive over, and they were literally scheduled, and I was like, you better come on your scheduled time, and you only have 4 minutes of conversation before you pull out and the next car is pulling in. And we put a space heater in the driveway for them to stand under, and they'd pull in, have their 4 minutes, cheers. You know, some came in rolling in with funny music on, some had horns, they had hats, two drove in with these like dinosaur heads on. It was hilarious. And I took the garage, and no one had a clue I was doing it, and turned it into a living room. So the garage door was open, and we had like chairs and a tablescape, and I had cheese and flowers and lights hanging. And it was literally, she says it's the best birthday she's ever had in her whole life, because when you're having a normal birthday, you don't even get to see half your guests. They're all there, you're paying lots of money for the party, and you don't even get to interact. So she got one-on-ones with all these people, and she felt like so appreciated that they took the time to put clothes on, get in a car, and show up.
Yeah, I mean, I need a friend like you. You need to be my friend after that. Oh my God, you're like the best friend ever. That's amazing.
It's definitely a benefit to hang out with an event planner. I can whip up dinner parties like no other.
Oh, how fun. Okay, so you also are speaking of that, like you're into cooking and dinner parties. So what are some of the meals you've been cooking while you've been in the Hamptons kind of locked down?
So I had a friend, Catherine Petrie, she's vegan, and she showed me how to take spaghetti squash and you roast them. You just put olive oil on top, cut them in half, olive oil, a little bit of herbs, salt, pepper, turn them upside down, put them in the oven for like an hour at 350. And literally when it comes out, you can scoop the spaghetti squash and it turns into like a pasta looking material. And then you can mix it with either like Indian herbs, or you can do like your garlic and olive oil. And it's like a healthy, delicious dinner that you wouldn't expect, with a different flavor. I mean, just the spaghetti squash gets you like a new level of food that's not just a basic sandwich out of your fridge. You're feeling fancy at home.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's a great idea. And what else have you been cooking?
Lentil salad. I love it because I want to stay skinny during this. So lentils are really high in fiber and really good for you. Super easy. And then making your own dressing at home is so easy. So if you just do 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, mustard, Dijon mustard, honey, 1/3 olive oil, salt, pepper, and a
Uh-huh.
clove of garlic chopped up. It's the most delicious dressing. Like, we actually want to sip on it. We want to drink this dressing. And then you put it on your lentil, which you boil the lentils, and then you just put like onions and cucumbers. And if you want to get fancy, like one day I got really fancy and wanted to feel like I was back on Madison Avenue at Chat Noir. I just took like a tuna can and cut the top and the bottom off, and then put the lentils in, some beets that were pre-made, because making beets at your house is a mess. You don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And then and then some goat cheese, and you like push it down in the tuna can. And then when you lift up the can, it's sitting like in a parfait, like beautiful. And so they both came from their home offices to this, like, and I was like, we're at Chat Noir. We had the best lunch.
How fun. So you've been still like kind of for them, kind of still creating this new kind of fancy life.
For
You're
sure. I mean, it's like, I just don't, my brain, like if I watch the news too much, or if I like get into it, like it sucks you down, and it really like, it's horrible. And my heart goes out to like everyone who's like really thick in it. Like, I've been blessed to not have it touch my family, which probably would make your mind go in a different direction. So since I don't have that, and I'm blessed not to, I want to just exude like the positivity to everyone else, just to keep some positive message. Like when you call people, you don't hear like, how are you? Oh, I'm wonderful. Like, you don't hear that anymore. People are so like, oh, just in the rut of it all.
So what are some things, because you seem like a very positive person, what are some things that you would recommend for the listeners who are like, yeah, I am down. I'm not going to fake that I'm great every day. This is crazy.
For sure. And I definitely like, genuinely, I'm not faking it. Like literally, like I'm still feeling inspired and up. But things I do is like grocery market flowers. I mean, look behind me. There's some tulips and some, and you just, that you just take out of the bag and drop it in the thing, and your home has fresh flowers. And I'll go above and beyond and put like one tulip next to like Todd's bedside table. And Regina, one day I cut like some yellow bells. I forget the real name, but I cut them and put them in her bedroom next to her bed. And just like, you feel like you're in a hotel again. You feel like just making your brain switch out of that you're stuck.
Yeah. So it's kind of like switching up your, maybe because I'm not one at this point like that would go and buy fresh flowers, but that's a
Well,
good idea.
you should definitely do it, and you're gonna love them.
You're right. I think I'm gonna start doing that because it would just bring more life into your place, right?
Also, like that, like say like Christmas morning when like you're a parent and you put all the presents out, that energy of like, there's something happening that no one else knows, that little giddy child in you. So if you like put them in your roommate's room or wherever you're staying, if you surprise someone in your home with that,
Yeah.
just that little surprise gives you like an hour of that energy that helps bubble the positivity.
Yeah. Well, that's great. And other tips and things?
Uh, if you want a good laugh, scare someone in your home, just like jump out from behind a door and startle them, and the both of you
Yeah.
just end up giddy laughing. Like, you have to be a kid, like bring out that little child in you. You have to be playful. I mean, you're stuck at home. I think
Yeah.
when you're a kid, like my parents used to like lock us outside and be like, don't come back until dinner. And we'd have to sit outside and think of like, what the heck do we do? We didn't have technology. We had to like be creative. So that's where I'm finding like strength, is just creativity of new ideas, new concepts, and what do I do with my time?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So let's talk about because again, this is just people feel like it's going to be forever, but this is temporary. We're going to get through this. It's going to be great. So I want to talk about your business and kind of what you guys do, because we're coming back. We just don't know when. So
We're
Revel Rouge, tell us about that.
Yeah, so we're definitely coming back, and I can't say like I feel the pain of a lot of business owners. I had so many cool things coming up in the pipes, and literally it just got all stripped away. And like a few people let you keep your deposits for future, and a few are just like, it's not going to happen. They
Yeah.
kind of freak out and they need their funding back. So it definitely was a soccer punch. It it hurt. It hurt a lot. And I'm watching every vendor I work with do the same thing, like the person who I rent the chairs from, the tablecloth, the florist, the food caterer, just watching all of this disintegrate together is just so sad. And I want to keep the hope, but I want people to know like it's coming back and we're ready. Like this summer, the Hamptons rentals are like so up. So I really think like everyone's here. So what's gonna be cool? Maybe 20 people in your yard.
Yeah.
I don't think people are gonna want to be like photographing it and flashy, but I think people want to have parties. You want to celebrate and you want to do something elegant and memorable.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one thing. We do a lot with like conference work too. And those are so fun because you have to go through 3 days of the events. What's the breakfast? What's the lunch? What's the dinner? We did a cool one last November in Puerto Rico where like this guy's talking about blockchain and he's like totally serious. And all of a sudden this fake waiter drops a tray with another waiter and they start fake fighting. And the whole conference room's like, what's happening? And then this girl walks out on stage in this beautiful costume and she's like, we're going to fight by dance. And they busted into this huge salsa dance battle. And so.
How fun.
Oh, so fun. And so then the next day they come back to the conference. They're like, okay, what are they going to do now? Like they're expecting it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so that one was like cyber crime. And this guy is so serious, Scott Augenbaum. And all of a sudden the curtain falls and the Blue Man Group was there behind the curtain. Just totally like in your face fun. That's what we love to do. We love to like, how do you make it so special? But I'm not like the one who's like just taking money and spending it like crazy. Like it has to like really thought out, really have a purpose and really stick with the customers and the guests.
Absolutely. And so do most people kind of come to you and say, hey, I want to have this party or this wedding or this event, but I don't know what I want. And then you kind of.
I find it harder. I find it harder when people come in and really want to be in it because it kind of like blocks my brain a little bit and when they're like so involved. But I have a few that are just like, here you go. Go with it. I know you're gonna do it, and I'm gonna just get to show up to my party dressed and ready, and everything's gonna be off the chains, which is what made us our specialty. We really got that customer trust. Like I do that. Go ahead.
How long does it usually take you to plan a big party?
I have gone from 3 days prep to 1 year preps. They really like, I got a phone call in Puerto Rico. They were like, we want to do Thanksgiving on the beach with all the neighborhood. It's going to be 75 people. And within 3 days, like knocked it out of the ballpark. It was so freaking gorgeous. It looked like Mickey Beach. It was sick. So it just varies on what your extremes are.
Right. And, it usually event planning and private party planning is usually catered towards the super rich, right? What is some advice that you can give people that can't afford a party planner but want to throw an event that's memorable for their guest?
For sure. Well, simple things like, so for my partner's birthday during this pandemic, I had all of his friends dance like fools for 30 seconds on camera. It's the funniest footage. Like we like watch it and we die laughing. And this is free. Your friends will do it for free. And then I had them say happy birthday and we edit it together. And it's this amazing video. It's on my Instagram, Hank NYC. And they are hilarious. And it was something that really just like stuck with him. Mm-hmm. I've also done like my sister's birthday 2 years ago. She turned 40 and she loves to camp. And so we like put up this tent and just myself, I didn't hire any staff. I literally had it catered. They drop off the food and there was no staff. Her friends helped me set up the tables and the chairs. We hung lights, and then there's this company called rentmywedding.com. And they let you rent these uplights for $25 a light. And literally we put them around the field on every tree. So all the trees were like purple and blue. And with just the simple market lights, a tent, and these uplights, it felt like a $5,000 party. But it was literally maybe like $2,000 in the end.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that's just amazing. And then if somebody wanted to throw, like, because everybody's just so cooped inside, they miss their friends, and let's say like July 4th becomes the first time that we can start getting together safely, and somebody wants to throw a barbecue, like what would be some cool ideas that they could do for a backyard, because nobody's probably going anywhere.
Yeah, no. But I definitely think themes are where you start your party. Like, what do you want? Let's do something. So I did a 4th of July on Lake Michigan. This was 3 years ago. And we did the theme Dollywood. This was like
Oh,
family. And everyone came in country, and we had like bales of hay, pitchforks. We got like a honky tonk band that played. And it's literally like a memory people have in the photos of just your friends with like cowboy hats and the girls with their shirts tied up. It's memories forever because it's out of the usual. Your friends are doing something they're not used to.
yeah, exactly. I actually went my birthday party 2 years ago. I decided, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do a theme, but I didn't like have like somebody like you or anything. So I just said I'm gonna have a slutty Western birthday party.
I love it.
And I was like, what does that mean? I'm like, Western slutty.
Chaps and boots and short jean skirts and right.
Exactly. Kegs of beer. It was perfect. You know? So sometimes it's like, and not everybody did it, but it was my excuse to dress like a fool. So I was like, I'm going with this theme.
I like it. I think you'd make a great Southern Belle.
Oh, well, thank you. I know. Everyone's like, it's the hair. It's the big hair. So you have also done a lot of parties and events for celebrities, particularly the New York Housewives.
Oh, girls.
Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta go there. It's like, I love these girls. I don't know these girls, or women, I should say women. But they're so fun.
They like to be called girls. They like to be called girls.
Okay, then girls. Girls it is. But they like say what you can about them, because everybody wants to know, like, how are they in person? Are they great? What have you witnessed? Like, go for it.
Sure. So it's been about 8 years that I've been friends with Sonia Morgan, Ramona Singer, and the Countess, of course.
Uh-huh.
And they were all like Upper East Side staples that would come to the restaurant. And over time, I like developed friendships being the GM of the restaurant. It was actually David Burke's restaurant at Bloomingdale's.
Oh.
And so then like Ramona did a wine pairing dinner with her Pinot Grigio and Merlot one night with David Burke. And I got to kind of see the wild, getting to know them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we really bonded when our girlfriend, Deborah Wasser, she has this gorgeous yacht that she took us like one night around the city. And Ramona and I had tequila on the rocks with lime with a splash of Pellegrino. And we got wild. We were dancing on top of this hot tub. And I was just like, who are you? And she's like, who are you? And it just literally like locked and loaded her and I. And I went through a breakup, and she broke up with Mario and got divorced. And the two of us had each other that summer. I would drive her car, I'd carry her bag to her room, and we would have the most fun weekends here. Just shenanigans.
How fun. Is she still into younger men?
But right now she's living with her ex-husband. That's where her doctors, since she has Lyme disease, they're like going to Florida. There's plenty of doctors. So that's where she is right now. She's literally living with her ex-husband and her daughter. So it's kind of like, for me, that blows my mind.
Wait, who's her ex-husband?
Mario.
This is Ramona, right?
Ramona Singer was married to Mario Singer, and now they're bunking together during the pandemic. I mean, crazy on top of crazy. She said there's only been one big blowout, and everything else has been smooth sailing.
Where's the daughter?
Daughter's with them. So daughter's happy because it's like mom and dad are living together, and daughter is like, if you go on Avery's Instagram, they're working out together, they're cooking like as a family every night. It's like the perfect family again.
Oh, how fun. And so does she have any idea when she's going to come back?
Everyone's dying to come back. I mean, luckily they're on a private beach, but like I know a lot, like my mother's in Florida, and like you can't do anything. People are like wanting to come back up to the East Coast where they can actually do things.
Yeah, but well, you can't do anything there either.
No.
I mean,
and then Sonia did season 7. I had a cabaret company, and she did this cabaret, and thank the Lord, she freaked me out on camera, which they do. They want you to be in situations that drama comes from. So I got her the beautiful $10,000 dress that she's supposed to wear donated. And she arrives to the Hamptons where we're filming and was like, I don't have my costume. I forgot it in the city. Like, you have to find me something. And on camera, you have to like, I'm trying to show the world that I'm like calm and cool, where they're wanting you to bubble and freak because
Uh-huh.
that's what sells on TV. And she ends up doing this show in like this corset type thing, and one boob literally like drops out, and it made like Paris Hilton, it made like it made Us Weekly, it literally just like blew up. So thank you for the boob drop, I appreciate it.
Hmm. And she didn't plan that? That wasn't like secretly planned?
No, she did not plan it. And I was actually supposed to be in the skit with her. And last minute, she was like, no, I really want to do this myself, and it was just for the drama. And it was, if you watch the whole thing straight through, there was some really rough moments that Bravo did not show.
Was it this past season?
This was season 7. I think they're on like 11 now.
Wow, isn't that amazing? So you've been like on the camera a lot with them.
Yeah, so I've been on 7, 8, 9, and then season 10, Ramona wanted to find a husband, and she thought like being around her gay best friend too much might be blocking that, was the theory. But sure enough, she came back because that ain't the truth. We're good wingmen, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, of course. And so how much of the reality is really real? Because I think a lot of people wonder that. Because I know like the directors are probably like, you guys should fight. Do it again. Like, how does that work?
So, it's definitely, they come in hot. Like if I'm in the car with Ramona before she films, I say it's like a bull before it's gonna fight, where its feet are in the dirt and just like or digging up, like you can't even talk. It's like it's building up because they know they have to come in with the fight. They know they have to come in with the tears, because that's, you can't just be like, hey, how are you doing your normal? You need to like ramp it up. It's
Yeah.
definitely over energized to make TV. But
Well,
producers push. They're definitely like, there was one time when Sonia got like so upset and she was leaving a party and I was trying to stop her, and the
uh-huh.
producers were like, no, like let her go, like we need her to go. And oh, I'm a real friend, I was actually just genuinely trying to do the right thing. No, you can't do it.
So are these actual real arguments and then they just have to escalate it on camera, or are they kind of
It's
create?
all kind of what you're saying, yeah, because I mean, they're not like, they're cast members. They don't like, they see each other in the Hamptons, but they're not their best friends. They're not who are really hanging out. It's definitely a job.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I think a lot of people, what happens, unfortunately, but it makes for great TV for people like me and everybody else that gets so much joy out of watching it. But you sometimes think, you say, and I don't know them, so I'm somebody who like doesn't like to judge, but you're like, oh my God, it's like high school never ended. Are they really that freaking mean? But at least you're kind of saying like, no.
There's definitely a different Ramona on camera and off. And like when I'm showing pictures of my dad's friends are like, oh, she's such a bitch, right? And I'm like, no, she's actually one-on-one, she's super sweet. And she's actually like, when you get her alone, she is like amazing person. And then you get it in the group and it just like goes to the TV level.
Well, yeah, you got to stay, castable, employable. So did you ever deal with Bethany?
Bethany, yeah, I filmed at her Hamptons house. She's a tough girl. I mean, actually, I saw her. This is hilarious. I saw her last week at Cinderella. I'm grocery shopping, and my friend dared me to kind of go in, and I tied my scarf, and then I mean, I looked like I was like in the desert, and so I like see Bethany. I'm like, hi, Bethany, and I'm like this. I mean, you're just getting my eyes. So who is that? And I'm like, Tank, And her response was, oh, of course you come with chic headwear to the grocery
Oh,
store. But yeah, she was gloves, she was masked, she was shopping. But I was like, this is the best time to be a celebrity, because you get to go out and no one knows who you are, unless, I mean, I knew her body. She's like this big. I'm like,
yeah.
not, you're like, that's not your average girl grocery shopping. It's definitely I thought actually, at first I thought she was one of the Olsen twins from behind. You could see like you could see, like the high end sneakers, the cute jeans, and I was like, I seen Mary Kate and Ashley out here a ton. I was
Mhm.
like, is that the old? And I was like, who is that? That's definitely not your average Joe just shopping at Cinderella.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you say she's tough, what does that mean?
She's hard. Like if you try to small talk her, if she's not into you, you do not even get the time of day. She's not warm and fuzzy. She's not gonna like just please you to please you. She's either like interested in you or she wants nothing to do with you.
Do you think that personality trait is what has made her super successful?
Yeah, because she can literally like categorize like priorities in people. It's like laser focused of what's worth my time and energy. Because I get told, like I saw an energy healer a year ago, just and I was learning, and she was like, too many people are charging into you. You got to like put up a little bit of a wall because since I'm such like an hyper energy, people want to like suck that out of you and make
Yeah.
they want to take what you have and insert it into them versus like actually doing the work themselves.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense because that's the thing too. It's nobody wants to be called a bitch. Nobody wants to be called anything bad. But at the same time, I think our definition of a bitch has changed over time.
Yeah, I mean,
Like this
I'm
is like
a bitch.
probably a good thing.
The 90s had changed with that song.
Yeah,
Totally new meaning.
right, exactly. So did you hear anything about, like, obviously Bethany left. She has her own show coming out on HBO Max, but
Right? She's gonna like make some probably crazy money off of that. That was like definitely a financial move. Smart.
yeah. But then she got really upset when the producers were like, "Yeah, we didn't need her. We don't need you."
Not true. I mean, I think she adds a lot, but the new character, because I'm watching, of course, I love it. I get into it because I see my friends being crazy and what they probably wouldn't be doing if it was just a normal day. But then the new girl, Leah, is like bringing it on the Bethany. Like she's coming in a little sharp. She's kind of throwing the jokes. Because it has to be somebody who has that like sarcastic humor and will just say
Mhm.
it like it is. And Leah's definitely filling that spot on the new season.
So I have not seen the new season. So where does Leah come from? What's her story?
She's friends with Tinsley. She had a really challenging childhood. She's not really revealing what it was, but she got kicked out of her house. So I'm thinking it was something with drugs or something on that level.
Okay.
She has her own business that's clothing, but she's super dry and she's just literally like calling them old ladies. She's like, she was at this major developer's house in the Hamptons and she's like, why do girls like short, ugly men just because they're rich? You know, she really is throwing in like the truth. She's telling what you're thinking, which we need. That's what makes the show funny.
Yeah. I mean, that's so crazy because I mean, you're kind of a rap. So wait, first of all, before I go into that, where do you know where they find these women? Like, where do they find? Is it like an open casting call you go to? Like, what the hell?
Well,
Where do they find?
Ramona's great because she's literally a producer. She's like thinking what's going to happen. She's shopping for the people. My friend Jules Weinstein was on one of the season, and that was through me. I introduced her to Ramona, and then sure enough, Jules is all of a sudden a housewife. I mean, that whole thing spun, and then it ended badly because when you're on that show, like every skeleton's coming out. That's why, like, if you're running for president or wanting to be a Bravo star, like you have to have no secrets to hide because the world will know them.
Yes, it's true because you do see, you see the evil side of people when you're successful because they want to bring you down. And
For sure.
well, this is kind of a very humbling experience. So I think people are learning a lot of things and learning what's important because all of a sudden you can't get your highlights done or your hair,
Or your
Botox.
books.
Yeah, forget about it. You know what I've kind of realized? Like I always did it in my forehead to kind of prevent the lines.
Yeah.
And I could use a touch up, but I'm not freaking out because A, I'm not seeing anyone. And B, you start to realize that, like, I'm starting to realize, at least for me, there's more important things in life. And I don't need to be so consumed about, little lines or aging. It's kind of like, no. Like, I just want to be outside. Like, I would take 5 more wrinkles just to be able to go to a party with my friends right now. Like, that's how it's become.
Yeah, no, it's definitely funny. And like Ramona actually did a story where she was on her Instagram story cleaning her toilet in like lingerie. And then Dorinda like spun off that, like pretending to scrub the floor in lingerie. And it's just this, like, these people have never cleaned their toilets in years, which is like crazy. I think like having to do your own house chores actually brings you back to that childhood. It brings you back to that like reality. Like you're really in touch with life and truth and cleaning up your own shit, so to say.
Yeah, and appreciation for the people that do it for you.
Yes. Because a lot of people, I mean, I definitely have worked with some hard people. I will say that for sure. And thanks for this housewife boot camp. Like I can deal with any client at this point. Like bring
Right.
it on. I know how to deal with that. Like it's even from the restaurants at trade me. When there's a tough customer, like waiters used to just push me towards this Upper East Side person because I could literally, I know what they want. I know how to deal with it. It's just a huge smile. And the more they yell at you, when they start lashing out, the more you smile, the more it literally kills them. It like drives them bonkers. But I always say to my staff, they're not mad at you. They're not mad at the restaurant. They came in mad. There's something else that's like really bothering them in their life. So
Yeah.
don't let it ruin your day. Like it has nothing to do with you. Like, go ahead. Do you want to be crazy? You look crazy.
Right. And do you deal with that a lot? Maybe I don't go to the restaurants because I haven't seen it too much, but like
Yeah, I opened this beautiful restaurant out here called Alea 3 years ago. I consulted them to opening,
uh-huh.
and our chef could not get the food out. He just could not, and people would lose their marbles. And the best story was one night, the appetizers came for this table, and this dad just went ballistic on me in front of the whole dining room, like nuts. And I'm not gonna take it. I literally just said to him, I go, I'm not the chef. I'm not the one cooking, so I don't know why you're screaming at me. It's
Yeah.
not going to achieve anything. So here's your options. You can either continue to wait, or I'm going to give you your bill for your appetizers, and you can leave. And he was like flabbergasted that I literally was just not going to roll out a red carpet and magically make food appear. I can't. I'm not a magician.
Right. Well, that's the thing too, is not everybody that listens to his the listeners have been to the Hamptons, but those who have, um service is typically pretty shitty in the Hamptons. Why is that? The food's slow, people don't give a shit. It's terrible.
Well,
You
it's actually due to just the fact that you can't get housing out here. So if
Okay.
restaurants could afford housing and then have the staff from New York living here, you could definitely get great New York staff out here. But you're finding this, it's like bare scraps, and the chefs are like trying to say they're like 25 an hour, which is usually in this city they're like 15 an hour. It's just there's such a hierarchy here that it makes it almost impossible to have just smooth sailing.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That does. Because people always wonder that, like, why is everything slower here? It's still the same kind of people and everything that comes in. So I want to get back to more of you. These stories have been so much fun, but um, tell us about like what's kind of next for you. Do you ever see yourself on TV? Like, what's kind of your
Well, right now, just during the pandemic, I have to keep my brain energized, and my friends were coming at me with what I can give them. And so I was researching like theme parties, and I was like, murder mysteries. They're so cheesy and horrible in person, I think. Like, I've never been to a successful murder mystery that like you feel cool.
yeah.
But I started thinking about how to do it as a Zoom game. And on Etsy, I found this like amazing author who's in Long Beach, California. And I just cold called her and was like, hey, I have this idea. And sure enough, it's like on her website now. She totally took it and was like, great idea, you know? But
Wow.
then I've been working with her to create my own version. And so it's pretty much done. I did my second trial this week. And I had like Consuelo Vanderbilt, one of the Vanderbilts, the real one. She was like one of the characters, and just my friends are nuts. So to have them put on these like characters, and it comes in a sheet, and the sheet's like, here's your character's name, here's their bio, here's what they don't like about someone else or a secret they're hiding about the murder, here's like who they're cheating on their husband. Like it has all like the housewives dirt, so to say. And so that's all you have. You're walking in as a fake person with all these like secrets. And then I, the host, am in the like interrogator, and I'm going through like investigating this case. And everyone's like, well, I saw her in the kitchen with so and so. And then you're like, you get that thrown at you, so the ball's in your court, and you have to bounce back with your lie.
Yeah.
And so the writing, it was hard because we had to stack like, here's 20 people's truth of where they were, and here's 20 people's lies of where they're saying they were. So it definitely was so hard to create. But
Yeah.
now that we have it, like I'm ready to release this. And it's going to go into 2 phases. One is like a virtual where you just print it out. And
Uh-huh.
then we want to take it to like our higher end customer where it's actually a beautiful box. And you would hire Revel Rouge, and we're going to go through your guest list and then mail out. It's going to have cheese, a wine pairing, a beautiful custom cheese board, your piece of paper that has your character sheet, and then what does your character have, like a monocle, a wig, a cigar, like whatever their pieces in this box. So can you imagine, like, this box arrives to your home, you're not expecting it, and it's from your friend, and you open it up and it has like the newspaper clipping of the murder, and then you have to like read your character bio and then show up on Zoom as this person, and go
How
through this
fun.
fun half hour.
And then this is something that can transfer once we get back into the real world, and then it would show up at your door and you show up to somebody's house.
Yeah, or I mean, where I'm seeing it too is like corporate trainings would be amazing for this. You
Yeah.
know, team building training.
Mhm.
I can see it with like all your college alum when you're like off for summer break and you want to see each other, like having like this package to send to everyone wherever they are across the country. So you all get together. Like Zoom is gonna continue, and podcasts and webinars, and you're gonna be like, I'm gonna be late for dinner tonight. I'll meet you in the city at 8 o'clock at this restaurant because I have to watch the 7 o'clock webinar, because you're into it. You want to learn, you want to grow, you want
Yep.
to be in the know.
I know. Definitely the world is going to change. But that is so much, I mean, that is so much fun and so
I'll give you,
creative.
you'll be the first announcement of the name. How's that? I'll give it to you first.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And can I play? I want to play when you're ready to play.
We
I've never
got it.
done a
We
murder
got it.
mystery.
So the name is Alibi or Lie.
Ooh, I love it.
Yes, a virtual murder mystery. Alibi or Lie.
Oh my God, I love it. That is so cool. And so what else is there like for you that's kind of going on? I mean, let's think outside the pandemic because this is going to end. This is going
Yeah,
to.
it's totally going to end. I think I'm going to have a nice busy summer here in the Hamptons, and people are going to start gearing up. There is supposed to be 2.0 coming in the fall, everyone's saying, which hopefully we'll be more ready. Hopefully we can live through it in a different manner than just hibernating the
Yeah,
way.
I know.
Um, but yeah, I'm ready. We're ready for weddings. We're ready for conferences. We're ready for milestone birthdays. Are my favorite. Like, I did a cool disco in March right before shit hit the fan. It was so fun. We had the dance floor that was lighting up. We had the smoke machine, the disco ball. Everyone came in costumes. I'm just ready to have fun again with people. Let's go play.
I know. I think anyone would take anything, just standing in a backyard with somebody by a barbecue grill or on a beach or you know.
Help! Yeah, right?
And that's the other thing too. So, I mean, you look very put together still. Like the pandemic is treating you well. Like, what are some of the things you're doing to stay so great?
Well, I started doing these daily messages on my Instagram, and it started off as a joke where I would like hold up a razor and be like, "Hey, you, yeah, dude, you, did you forget what this is? Like, go shave your face. Like, what's your problem? And it started. The people were like really into it, and then it's like becoming actually more like genuine as it's continued. And I do keep the funny and I keep the crazy, but just getting out there, and it's actually like hearing back from people like, "I love your energy. You changed my day." And every Saturday it's Saturday, it's time to clean your sheets. Did you clean your sheets? And people are literally like, shit, I have to go do my laundry, you asked. Like,
Ah,
it's sticking, and it's becoming like every Saturday people like look forward to hearing like it's time to clean your sheets. So just staying like really up and present with people, and just being a voice during this, which I didn't expect to be, has been such like a cool thing. Like, who knew?
yeah, absolutely. And any like fitness or skincare tips that you have?
Um, well, fitness. I'm spoiled as a brat here because there's a hot tub, and we wake up early and we do hot tub aerobics, like water aerobics. And
How big is this hot tub?
it's big. I mean, it's like 10 by 10. I mean, we're lucky. So like we're goofing off, but I go for daily walks, jogs. You have to be staying fit, and then putting some fiber in your food to get rid of those like guilty potato chips. You need a little lentils or something with fiber to flush it through.
Right, exactly. So for fiber, lentils is your go-to?
That's kind of my go-to. I mean, I had friends like when I was younger who'd like eat prunes, but I mean that's too much for me.
Yeah, right, exactly. And any like go
Prunorexic, we'll call it.
right. I know. It's so funny because nobody wants to talk about shit, but everybody shit or poops. You know what I mean?
True.
It's fiber.
True. And the other thing I think is like that I get people really jazzed up on is like, who do you want to be coming out of this pandemic? Like, the person who's like, I'm Tiger King couch potato, and I know everything about Ozark, or are you like, hey, I created this idea. Hey, I read this book. Hey, I can speak French now. Like, I don't know. Just we're already like week 5, I think, right? Going on week 6, and like, what have you done? Have you done anything?
Yeah, it's right. That's the thing is like you still everybody still has the same amount of time, and now it feels like you actually have more time or more free time. Um, it's
I
like do something new.
People like week 1 were like making their house lists of like, I gotta clean the basement, I'm gonna
Mhm.
clean my closet. Well, have you done it? No, you haven't done it, right?
Right.
You got like 1 more month to like get that done before life's gonna come back and smack you in the face and we're gonna be running around again.
Yeah. I mean, I organized so much stuff in my house. I was running out of drawers to throw shit out in. I had to stop looking in the drawers because I was going to start throwing shit out that I actually needed. I literally was getting off on just throwing shit away.
Well, it always feels good. They say like when you go through, like if you haven't worn it in a year, throw it away. I mean, I have problems with that, but it's
Well,
true.
they say that, and you always hear that. But I have dresses that I didn't wear last summer that I was like, okay, so should I get rid of this dress? And then I'm like, there's going to come a time where I might want to wear this dress. So it's hard. Like, how do you actually part with it?
I also have like the jeans I wore in college that I loved. Like I can't throw those away. They're like I just like to. I don't know. They have like an attachment to me. And then every once in a while, I try to fit in them and see if I'm a fat bitch or not.
Oh, because yeah, I was going to say most people are fatter in college than they are.
Oh, I was definitely skinnier in college because I was music theater major. So I was like dancing every day and gymnastics and
Yeah. Okay, that's amazing. And what how do you stay in touch with people during this?
Well, actually, this is I can show you one. I did this for clients. I did thank you cards. I have this cool vendor. They're
Oh,
in North Carolina. And I had these like fancy gold foil thank you cards, and so I wrote about 100 of those and mailed them out to everyone who's hired me, everyone who's worked with me, and literally it was like what I heard was like it's like a piece of sunshine comes in your mailbox. You know, you're not expecting it, and just to see someone's like handwriting, like gosh, it's like crazy. I do have to say my hands were so sore. I'm not used to writing when
yeah.
you go to like writing again, it's like it's tiring
No, it is. It's so true. It's kind of like we're going back to the good old days in a way.
in a way. But I think we're also going like really fast forward. Like I'm doing a virtual gala and I'm doing a virtual showcase with David Parsons Dance, which like I'm like literally having to learn all this new virtual material, like these websites and webinars and live streams. And I mean, we're definitely there's so many tools missing that we do need for the future.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, we need to be prepared for something like this. We never saw it coming, but it
It's
could
crazy.
happen again.
Like when you think about it, it's just crazy.
I mean, if somebody told you, like if you sat down with a psychic 2 years ago and they told you this, you would be like, that is the worst psychic I've ever met.
For sure. Like, what a negative bitch.
Yeah. Like,
Well, for something to do, just like you're saying with energy, is like if you're at home and you're working from home, because my office is actually in my house. So I'm used to this. This is my normal.
okay.
So I have like the lights up really bright during the day, windows wide open. Usually I put on like a music that's either in a different language or has no words. So I don't listen in on it. And it's just the energy is there. And then once you hit cocktail hour, like switch over to something spicy like rigatone or something just
Ooh.
fun. Then at dinner, you need to like dim the lights, light some candles, get dressed. Don't eat dinner in your pajamas. That's depressing. And show up to whoever's with you at your home. Like when you guys show up to dinner, think about if you're on like, say you rented a yacht and you're
Okay.
on this yacht and you're in the middle of the ocean. Are you going to dress up for dinner or are you going to arrive in your pajamas? You're going to dress up
No, I'm not. I'm going to arrive in my swimsuit.
for
I wear
dinner.
my swimsuit from morning to night. Yes,
Or you
absolutely.
you put this beautiful throw over it or something, or do your hair. Or you want to
The
be present.
the throw depended upon how much cellulite was showing on my hands. that would
Or how sunburnt you are, or tan lines, or
exactly, right?
yeah. But I think just like changing the energy of lighting in your house throughout the day to the different time periods makes you feel like you've left and gone somewhere different, which we need to do. We need to mentally be traveling through our day to different places than the same room.
Yeah, and getting outside is so, so key.
Yeah.
Like just for fresh air, like in the backyard or just out front.
Ooh, we should toss in my little lettuce trick just to really give people some
Yes.
jack.
All
So
right.
I didn't know you could do this. And then Eater today just like posted a blog on it. I'm like, they must have seen my Instagram for sure.
Yeah. No, that's
So,
yeah, I know.
right? So if you take romaine lettuce, romaine hearts, and you cut them and keep the bottom piece and put it in a jar with a little water. Look at this is day 5, and he has grown like an inch. So by day 12, he'll be a whole thing of lettuce that you actually get a free lettuce. If you're buying like organic veggies, you can do celery, you can do onion sprouts, you can do, I heard you can do an avocado. That takes 2 years. I don't got patience for that. But
No.
for 2 weeks, I got 2 weeks. And it's like every day we check in on our little lettuce farm in our windowsill.
So it's the base, like the very bottom of it,
Yeah.
where like the root is, right?
I'll take them out.
So for those of you that are
That's
listening,
like the bottom right there. And you just cut it.
wait, turn it towards the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And you just stick him in the water and he's going to grow into this like beautiful new lettuce.
That's
For
amazing. Yes.
free.
So for those of you guys who are
It's like a chia pet for adults.
right, yeah, for vegans, it's like a vegan's wet dream. You know.
Lettuce for days, darling. Lettuce for days.
You guys, we have the episodes available on YouTube as well. So if you're listening on Spotify or SoundCloud or Apple, and you want to see what this little lettuce guy was and the visual of it, please go to our YouTube channel at Next to Madison. You'll be able to see that. But yeah, I do love that. And you can also do it, you were saying with celery?
You can do celery. You can do like chives. What else are people growing? I think onions. People, there's like a ton. If you just even Google like veggies to grow at home, it'll give you like a whole list. I saw pineapple. Pineapple is 2 years too. I don't have time for 2 years. I just can't.
How long is an onion?
I think that I mean I can't quote it, but I want to say it's more like the chives that grow.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, this is great because people can actually regrow because people don't want to go to the stores, especially right now, but also to save money because I think after this, people are going to start realizing like, what do I need? What do I not need? You know?
Yeah, I think you start prioritizing like where your spending habits. I think there's gonna be a lot of change in spending habits for sure.
Yeah.
I don't miss going to the mall. I don't miss like shopping really, to tell you the truth. But it does feel good when you get your new clothes. But right now you have nowhere to wear them to, so it's
Well,
all
that's
on
right.
you.
Yeah, I kept seeing all these like the ads that pop up sometimes online, for different clothes, and I don't even get excited because I'm like, yeah, I'm not buying anything until I know I can get out of the house. Like, what's the point?
Who knows what size you're gonna be when it's over? So it's like, don't even
Well,
bother yet.
hopefully, one's the same. Hopefully, although
Hopefully.
I was at last night. My nieces and my brother and his wife, we made brownies. Like they had a brownie mix. So we made the brownies. I'm not kidding you. The brownies were gone in 5 minutes. The 5 of us ate the entire pan.
Did you
Like,
go down to batter too?
huh?
Did you try the batter as well?
Oh yeah, I did. Oh yeah. I was like, you know what? Like some days you just, but now today I'm starving because I'm like, I'm not eating till dinner.
Oh my god! Well, it makes it fun. I mean, I've actually been cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner here. I call it Hank's Cafe in the morning. I yell that it's open, and I make everyone their lattes, whatever. But
Yeah.
definitely, it's hard to keep every day motivated for what you're gonna cook, what you're gonna eat, because it hits a point where you're just like sick of cleaning, sick of cooking, sick of the whole shebang, But
I know.
yesterday, I got like super. Sorry, it's the Hamptons Wi-Fi. You'd think it'd be amazing, but it ain't.
Yeah, no, it's always the worst.
But yesterday I was like not motivated, and then I found this recipe for like an Asian sesame chicken, and that like jazzed me up. Just switching like the flavors and the palette kind of re-inspired me.
Yeah. So that, I mean, that's great.
And then we changed the music. We had on like Buddha bar music playing. I mean, we felt like you gotta keep like moving where you are mentally.
Exactly. Do you have any good fun cocktail recipes?
Oh yeah. So just a simple one is you can take water and you put a cup of sugar, like a cup of water, a cup of sugar. I know it's fattening, but a cup of sugar, and you
Uh-huh.
throw in a rosemary stem and let it boil. And then you can put rosemary, and garlic is good with rosemary. So I did garlic, rosemary, sugar, water, boiled it, and then I took tequila, lime, poured the simple syrup and club soda, and it was this like woodsy deliciousness.
Okay, so the sugar, the rosemary, the water, that creates the
That creates a simple syrup. So if you just take water and boil sugar, you can kind of throw in a bunch of things. And it's like if you go to a restaurant, it's simple syrup. So even during the day, if you want a mocktail, if you have this ginger rosemary and you put it in like your iced tea or whatever, it makes it like exciting. Like mocktails are fun. I actually love it's called a Barbara Bush. It's iced tea and orange juice.
that's called it. How did it become a Barbara Bush?
Apparently, she drank it in the White House, and it's like you're getting your caffeine and you're getting your vitamin C, which we need vitamin C right now, and it's really good. You got to go try that one.
Have you ever heard of summer brew?
Summer brew isn't it's like a beer right now.
Okay, no. This is my honestly I look like such like a little like southern little diva, but I still have my closet little redneck in me somehow. I don't know where it came from. It didn't come from my family. Summer brew is gonna change your life and it is gonna F you up. Okay. It is the best. Are you ready?
Yep,
Shot of vodka,
yep.
half like 2 shots of orange juice,
Okay.
and
The fruit
fill the
drive.
rest of it up with a Coors Light beer. It is like a seltzery mimosa, and I'm telling it, the beer and the vodka does something. But I'm telling you, you're in the bag, you're going, woo! It's cheap. It's orange juice. It's Coors Light, and it's vodka.
So I went to college in Oklahoma,
Love.
and there was this place called Edna's, and she was a crazy lady. The place was covered in dollar bills. So you like
Okay.
write your name on a dollar bill, and they give you a staple gun, and you staple your dollar bills to them all. It's like trashy, trashy fun. Who knows
Yeah.
how much the balls are worth? And then it's called a lunchbox. So you take a light beer, pour it full, and you drop in a splash of orange juice, like you're saying, and a shot of amaretto falls into it, and you chug it.
And it's called a lunchbox.
Lunchbox, Edna's lunchbox.
Why is it called a lunchbox? Does it fill you up?
I don't know why she named it that, but in college we'd go there and get like $5 lunch boxes and get really fucked up.
Well, yeah, that would definitely do it to you. Oh my gosh, that's
They're
crazy.
fun though. It's like a fireball buzz where like you're super hyper and like in a good place. It's not like the gin madman comes out or whatever it is.
Right. Could you sip that drink since we're being more responsible these days in our older years?
I know. Aren't hangovers like the worst now? Oh my god, I have to like schedule them in my book.
I got to tell you, I haven't had a drink in 6 weeks. I haven't had one drink in the quarantine.
That's good. I try, and this week wasn't as successful, but usually in general my like life mission is Sunday night through Thursday, no drinking.
I haven't even tried. There's no reason that I need to be not drinking. I don't drink that much to begin with. There's no reason for it. It just literally hasn't come up.
Yeah, and it's just a calorie intake that's not 100% necessary. And I find like right now is like I don't want to be hungover. I don't want to be in bed all day. It's such a downer.
Yeah, I've decided instead of drinks, I'm picking up dessert during the quarantine.
Well, you're in Colorado. You can touch on the edibles and see how that does.
I know. I think they're an essential business, so they must. They
They
must.
are, yeah, for sure. For sure. They definitely have like gummies and chocolates and all sorts of madness. You'll have good dreams.
Yeah, right, exactly. It'll kind of pass you right out, right? Well, this has been so much fun. You're so much
I
fun to
know.
talk to.
We gotta like hang out. I can't wait to have fun, and we'll get this murder mystery to you so you can play with your family.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. That would be so amazing. So before we let you go, I need you to tell everybody where they can find you. Revel Rouge is the name of your company.
Yep.
Revelrouge.com.
So revelrouge.com, Instagram Revel Rouge. Right now we're opening back up to take future parties. We'll work even with you to make it at a reasonable cost of our fee, just because having that deposit come in right now is so helpful for us because then we can share it with our vendors who are all in the same boat. And it's kind of like the tree will go downward with the dollars, which is a great thing. But yeah, revelrouge.com. We're here for you.
And what is your personal Instagram? Because you mentioned you were it's Hank NYC.
Hank NYC, yeah. You'll get the Housewives on there. Ramona, every time we hang out, I'll post crazies on her. We have so much fun. It's definitely Kiki over here.
Oh, I love it. That is so, I mean, you're just such a fun ball of energy. I just love it. And it's been so much fun. You've definitely brightened up my morning. Well, morning here because I started, but
Yeah, no, you gotta keep it fun. And you've actually been to a Revel Rouge event. You were at Soho Muse launch.
that's right, I was. And
That was crazy. We had models walking around in gowns. We had electric violinists. We had a Broadway singer. I mean, it was over the top.
yeah, and can we talk about our common friend who is also the producer on this podcast? I love her to death, and we always laugh because I say, you didn't tell me that it was at a, like, you said gallery, but there was no, I mean, people were like dressed up. She didn't mention like a dress code. I came in a flannel. Like I literally looked like I came out of a redneck like barbecue.
Well, you thought you were going to your birthday party.
Apparently I did. I showed up at this beautiful gallery and everybody's dressed to the hilts, and it was a gorgeous party. So well done.
I love Lynette. We actually were on a board together for a fundraiser for Toys for Tots, and she is just such a go-getter. And man, if you want to raise money, like Lynette is your go-to gal.
Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, Lynette Dallas, we'll give a shout out to her. She is a producer on this podcast, and she's just an amazing rock star. So we love you, Lynette. Go, Lynette.
Love you, girl.
Yeah. So, okay, perfect. Well, you guys go find Hank, check him out. He's dropping tips and fun things to do. So do that. And when we all come out of this crap, you want to plan a great party or a big wedding, go to revelrouge.com. And yeah, everybody stay safe and stay in faith. We're going to get through this and it's all going to be great. And I can't thank you enough, Hank.
Thank you, Madison. And everyone, you have like a few more weeks to figure out how you're going to change what your outcome is here. Have a story to tell of this. Like, do something.
That is exactly right. Exactly right. So you guys, how do you want to come out of this quarantine? Ask yourself that question and make the actions happen. So you guys, thank you so much for listening to another episode of Next to Madison. And we'll see you guys next time to find out who's next. Hi, your host, Madison Malloy here. I just wanted to remind you guys to please follow the show on social media at Next to Madison. And if you have any questions or suggestions for the show, or you feel that you would be a great guest on the show and would love to be considered, please feel free to email me at nexttomadison@gmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the show on all podcast platforms. And I thank you again for listening.